Hey everyone, so I'm here at the Oak Grove 50th anniversary, and right here on this very spot is hallowed ground in the history of disc golf, but it's not for the reason any of you think. So I'm going to give you a quick walk around. So if you come to Oak Grove, you can stand in this very spot that every Oak Grove Gopher from the old days will know what I'm talking about. Because in this very spot, one of the greatest humans I've ever known, Greg Keith, used to park his Volkswagen bus. Now, why is this so important? Because you see, in the early days, you could not buy your Midnight Flyers and eventually your Innova Discraft and Lightning discs, your Destiny discs, Jan Sobel. You could not buy these discs in stores. If you wanted to buy a golf frisbee like a Midnight Flyer, you had to come to one of the rare courses where there was an individual who would buy 50 or 100 at a time from Whammo and have them shipped out, and they would show up with these discs in the trunk of their car. Now, if you came to the park every day like me, no big deal. That person would show up eventually. You would see them. Well, Greg Keith came here all the time. But if you were coming from a course where you didn't have one of those players, you had to drive to a course where there was somebody that sold discs out of the trunk of their car and just hope they showed up that day, which they often didn't. Now, when they did show up, you didn't get a full selection of discs because they only had 20 or 30 of them. So you didn't get to pick your weight, your color, not even your model sometimes. You were just happy to be able to get golf discs, so you weren't going to complain. Now, you would think that in a situation like that, the person would buy 20 or 30 discs now that they had the discs in front of them. But the problem with that is none of us had enough money for 20 or 30 golf discs. They were $7 a piece, for crying out loud. Nobody had extra $200 back in those days. So you would wait, you'd go visit park day after day to eventually run into the person to hopefully buy 2 frisbees if you were lucky. Okay, sorry, I'm exaggerating on the story. No one ever bought 2. We only bought 1 because we were poor. But that's what we did. So Greg Keith was our local disc dealer. Now, Jan Sobel sometimes came over here and set up. I know Gary Perlberg came here on occasion, and even Mark Horn opened one of the first pro shops up here at Oak Grove Park. But those were years later. But even that made us one of the lucky ones. Buying golf discs out of the trunk of the car is what every single player in the old days did. It was the only option, and that was the origin of Infinite Discs and all the other disc stores out there. It started right here for me in the back of Greg Keith's Volkswagen bus.